Hey guys, my name is Hreski and this is my son
Hreski.
Hreski. He's employee in training. He's our youngest employee right here. And today we actually we're going to be answering frequently asked questions that come from our international buyers, from buyers outside of the United States. We obviously, as you all know, we US-based company, and then let's go ahead and answer some of the questions that our international customers are asking. So, first question that people ask is where all of the shipments orders are shipping from. Where is it coming from?
It's coming from Ohio, USA.
Ohio, USA. Okay, so they ship from our warehouse that is located currently in Ohio, United States, and that's where all of the shipments go to. We ship domestically most of the products, but for our international customers, from that order from outside of the United States. Anyway, we ship from Ohio, United States.
Yeah.
The second question they ask, to which countries that we ship to?
We ship to Australia, Canada, and United Kingdom.
Yep. So those are the three countries outside of the United States that we ship our products to, which is again, Canada, Australia, and United Kingdom. We do once in a while ship to other countries as well, but it's on a case-per-case basis. So if you're located outside of the United States and not in Canada, not in Australia, not in United Kingdom, then go ahead and just reach out to us, and we're gonna try to accommodate you. But if you're in Canada, Australia, or United Kingdom, you can go ahead and place your order, and we'll ship it to you right away. The next question people ask is in regards of a shipping time. Approximately, do you happen to know how long it takes for our clients outside of the United States to actually receive their orders?
Yes, somewhere between a week and a month.
Yeah, it takes some time between 1 week and a month, and I know it's a huge gap.
Yeah.
So we're gonna elaborate on that a little more. Like for instance, when we ship to neighboring countries like Canada, for instance, it's much closer. Shipments typically get a little bit faster than when they need to be delivered all the way to like Australia or United Kingdom, which those countries are much further away than Canada from us, right? So, but overall, it's like let's talk about Canada, for instance. In Canada, we've seen shipments to arrive as quickly as just 1 week, which is fairly fast. But we've also seen shipments to actually be delivered as long as a month to any country. So, Canada and Australia and United Kingdom. But Canada tend to get those shipments just a little bit faster. And a lot of folks are asking like, well, what's the average time, and why there's such a huge gap? It's a 1 week and a month. It's a huge gap. It's like, how do we know when we're going to be getting it? And on average, most of customers get their shipments in about 2 weeks. Roughly, especially Canada. Canada usually about 2 weeks, sometimes a week, sometimes 3 weeks, but usually within 2 weeks that they're gonna get it. Australia and United Kingdom usually a little longer, so it's between two and 3 weeks is the average. Again, those are the averages. Sometimes they get it also as fast as like 10 days or a week, sometimes as long as 1 month. And there are some cases that it may even take longer than a month. Those are super rare, so I don't even focus on a month, but it can happen. So there are two wild cards why we cannot really make a prediction as far as how fast that you're going to receive your shipments. The biggest one, first one, is when we ship internationally. The shipment is being taken to a distribution center that actually there are planes there and there are trucks there, and those trucks and planes are being filled in with all kinds of orders and shipments from our company and from other companies to all of the, let's talk about Canada first, right?
Yeah.
So let's say there's a truck or a plane, and we send our goods to them and other countries and Amazon, let's say, and whatever, many companies are sending their goods to them. and then that truck or plane fills up, and once it's full, it goes. Sometimes, let's say if our shipments arrive and the plane is pretty much full and we just put our stuff in and it's ready to go, then obviously the process is much faster. But sometimes the plane just left and we're coming in and a brand new plane is being filled out and we just first ones to put our things in, and then other companies, they keep filling in the plane and eventually it's full, and maybe it takes sometimes a few days, sometimes it may take a week, and then finally it goes. So that's kind of wild card because we just don't know how quickly those planes will fill in with all kinds of orders that are going to one destination, let's say Canada, or one destination, you know, there's a plane that goes to Australia, right? So it needs to fill in order for it to go. Those planes should not or cannot go, you know, half full or, you know, half empty, right? Otherwise the costs are gonna continue rising, and shipping carriers are trying to keep the cost as low as possible. So that's one of the wild cards, depending how quickly they will leave that distribution center. The second wild card is how quickly, once that a plane arrives in your country, right, how quickly your country's customs, like, you know, Australia customs, United Kingdom customs, Canadian customs, border patrol, right, how quickly they process it through. And, you know, it depends on how quickly your country's customs are really processing the orders, I mean, not orders, but the shipments. How many shipments they currently coming in, like, let's say during New Year, let's say there's a lots of shipments and maybe even less workers sometimes. So the shipments actually going through customs a lot longer than, let's say, like in some other times. But anyhow, the point I'm trying to make is that we just don't know how quickly your customs will process the orders, and usually they just wave it through it fairly quickly, and it just and it's been released to your local post office. So in Canada it's a Canada Post, in Australia it's a Australia Post. They're the ones that will pick it up and they will deliver it to you locally. So the whole process is, again, just to once again, once we receive international order to, let's say, Australia or Canada, right? So we basically deliver it via United States Postal Office. Usually would get the shipments and they will take it to that international distribution center. That's where all the planes are filling out. Then those planes are going to that country. Then they go through their customs, and then customs would release it to your local post office, which is, let's say in Canada would be Canada Post, right? And during that time, whenever, let's say, you know, at some point also a lot of people asking, I don't see the tracking to be updated at all, and that is actually perfectly normal. Sometimes you don't see any updates whatsoever, and sometimes customers are panicking. It's like, oh, what happened to my order? Nothing happened. It just whenever it leaves, usually whenever it leaves the distribution center, and then it gets to let's say their country, and goes through while it's sitting at the let's say Canadian customs, it takes time for them to process it, and as soon as they release it to Canada Post, that's when you see continuation, and from there is like whatever time it takes for Canada Post to deliver regular mail. So let's say it takes maybe a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days, right? So you often do not see any movement in tracking, any updates for like a good period of time, while it's kind of up in the air right there. So that sometimes also happens. A lot of people asking like, oh, what's happening with my order? So don't be panicking if like no updates whatsoever. It just goes through the process. It's moving. The updates are just delayed, and usually updates will resume as soon as customs will release the order and give it to Canada Post, Australia Post, and whatever the shipping carriers, local carriers in United Kingdom. So that's that. The next question is taxes and duties. People asking if they need to pay. Do we charge our customers taxes and duties?
No,
we don't.
not at
Right?
all.
Yep. We do not charge any taxes and duties. However, your customs may ask you to pay for the import taxes and duties. This is totally out of our control. It's up to your customs, up to your government to decide whether or not they want to charge you or not. But For the most part, we rarely see packages being charged. Sometimes it happens. And whenever that happens, usually we see on the larger orders, larger shipments, they have much higher chances that your customs will pull that, they will inspect it, and they will actually charge you any taxes and duties. So, but on fairly reasonably small orders, when like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items is still considered to be fairly small. Usually we do not see very often that taxes and duties being charged, but it can change at any moment. We have no control of what your government chooses to do, but we do not charge any taxes and duties.
Yeah.
Lastly, shipping costs. A lot of customers, international customers, are asking, does it cost more to actually ship internationally?
Yes, yes it does.
And of course, yes, it does cost a lot more to ship internationally than within the United States. Ideally, our recommendation currently, as of today, we do not charge any shipping costs to our international customers if your order is above $75, and those 75 is US dollars. So if your purchase is over $75, which is usually like 2 items, then there's no cost to you. We will pay 100% of the shipping cost, even though it sometimes it costs a lot. Sometimes it can cost us as little as like $15 for shipping charges. Sometimes it could be as much as $100, and regardless of what it is, we will pay 100% of it. Yeah. But if your order is under $75, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to charge you whatever it costs, like $50 or $20 or $30 or $100. We have a flat fee of $17.95. Is all we charge for the orders under $75 currently. We take the chance. We charge $17.95 for orders that are less than $75, and sometimes it's enough to pay for the shipping costs, sometimes it's not. So sometimes we win on shipping costs, sometimes we lose, but it averages out okay. We're okay with it. But our suggestion to our international customers is, when you place in the order, try to get it above $75. It's just more beneficial to you because you're going to pay no shipping costs. $17.95 is waived, and regardless how much it costs to us, it may cost us $20, it may cost us $70, I don't know. We will pay 100% of the shipping charges, whatever they cost for us to deliver your items to you. And a last question that sometimes people ask, our prices, let's say, is it an Australians asking if it's in Australian dollars, or Canadians may ask if it's in Canadian dollars, and the answer is our prices are US dollars. Yeah. Hopefully you will be able to convert that into your own currency so that you know how much things cost, but our prices are in US dollars. So for the most part, I think that will answer about most of the questions that our international buyers have. So let's not make this video too long. If you have any additional questions, just simply reach out. But other than that, hopefully it's been helpful, and thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. And again, my name is Hreski, and this is my son.
Hreski.
And please reach out to us if you have any questions, and you take care. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.